The number was no longer a dream, it was a destination. 25,000 acorns, Pip's acorn of freedom. For the first time in his life, he wasn't just working or investing, he was building his monument to freedom, brick by brick. A fire was lit in his eyes. He was no longer just an investor, he was a man on a mission. He ran back towards his burrow, his mind a whirlwind of calculations and strategies. He was unstoppable. He was so focused on the golden peak of the mountain, so filled with this new powerful optimism that he didn't see the world around him. He didn't see the old dry branch creaking ominously in the wind above the path. He didn't hear the distant rumble of a potential rock slide. He was invincible in his mind, but his physical body, his real, tangible burrow, his magnificent half-built pyramid of acorns, they were terrifyingly fragile. As he ran, a single cold thought, sharp as a shard of ice, stopped him dead in his tracks. He thought of a careless camper's forgotten fire. He thought of a sudden violent flood washing through the valley. He thought of a terrible accident, a fall from a high branch. He looked back at his half-built pyramid and a new kind of fear, a fear not of the market, but of life itself, crept into his heart. His ark was built to withstand the financial storm, but what about a real one? What if he built his mountain almost to the top, and then one bad day, one single random disaster, washed it all away? He went to the wise badger, the fire in his eyes replaced by a cold dread. "My plan is flawed," he stated, his voice trembling. "I have a strategy for the market seasons, but I have no strategy for life's accidents. My freedom is a fortress made of glass. One well-aimed stone and it all shatters. How do you protect yourself from sheer bad luck?" The wise badger nodded slowly, his expression deeply serious. "You have reached the final layer of wisdom, Pip, the wisdom of the shield. You cannot stop the lightning from striking, but you can build a shield that will absorb the blow." "A shield?" Pip asked. "The community shield," the badger replied. He told Pip a story of the forest in the old days. When lightning struck a beaver's dam and washed it away, it was a tragedy for that one beaver. The other animals would watch sadly, thank their lucky stars it wasn't them, and go about their day. The ruined beaver was left alone. "But then," the badger continued, "the forest grew wiser. We created a pact. At the start of every year, every single family in this forest, beavers, squirrels, gophers, everyone, places just one single acorn into the great forest safety pot. Just one, an amount so small you don't even notice it's gone." He showed Pip a vision of this ceremony, hundreds of animals, each dropping a single tiny acorn into a massive, ancient stone pot in the center of the clearing. "This pot," the badger's voice boomed over the vision, "is our shield. Now watch." The vision shifted. A storm cloud gathered over the forest. A bolt of lightning struck a gopher's burrow, and it caught fire. A scene of devastation. But this time, the story was different. The gopher family was safe, but their home and all their winter stores were gone. They were ruined, but they were not alone. The next day, the wise badger, as the keeper of the safety pot, came to the devastated family. He reached into the pot, which was now overflowing with the community's acorns, and gave the family enough to rebuild their home completely, to restock their pantry, to get back on their feet. "Do you see, Pip?" the badger asked. "The family lost their home, but they did not lose their future. They did not have to sell their long-term investments. They did not have to go into debt. Their setback did not become total ruin. The cost of this protection for them, one acorn a year. That is the magic of insurance. You trade a tiny, predictable loss for a massive, unpredictable one." Pip was stunned. It was so simple, so powerful. He immediately went to the keeper of the safety pot and made his contributions. A few acorns to protect his burrow from fire and flood, his property insurance. A few more acorns to protect his health, ensuring that if he ever got sick, the pot would pay for his care, his health insurance. That night, a real storm raged outside Pip's burrow.
Thunder shook the ground, wind howled, but for the first time, Pip wasn't afraid. He looked at his magnificent mountain of acorns, his monument to freedom. He imagined a lightning bolt striking it, but then he imagined a great glowing, transparent shield materializing around his home, deflecting the blow. His pyramid was safe. He was finally truly protected from the seasons of the market and from the storms of life. He looked at his mountain of acorns, now secure and destined to grow for decades to come. It would grow far beyond his own needs. A new, final thought began to form, a question about time itself. He looked at his own paws, then at the wise, wrinkled face of the old badger. This mountain, it will outlast me, he thought. He turned to the badger, his voice filled with a new kind of wonder. What happens to it when I'm gone? When I'm very, very old? Who gets it?